Welcome back to the TING. Oh, give it a sec. There we go. It's like you gotta kick the computer really to get it going. But welcome back to the TING Open, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the winners match of the first European group here for the round of 32. This means there are no eliminations from whoever wins or loses the series. The winner, however, will get out of group in first place and move on to the group with Mana and DNS. I'll talk more on why that's really weird in a moment for those who haven't been keeping too close track of things. But to kick things off here in the upper left side, we do have the orange Terran player, Optimus, with his opponent to the south, the blue Protoss Harstem, who, by the way, I am super favoring in this series. I got nothing against Optimus. Optimus might have the best TvP in Europe, but I watched Harstem accidentally, that's right, accidentally beat Corsair at WCS Montreal. And I had the honor and pleasure of casting those games. I'll talk more about all the good stuff Harstem does in a moment, but to explain the greater scheme of things here for the TING Open, half of the round of 16 has already been determined for the European group, and that's Mana and DNS. For the first time, legitimately for the first time since the beta, we are seeing Protoss dominance in the European portion of any tournament we've hosted. Like, sure, there's been the odd time where Showtime's won a Corsair Cup many times in a row. Nerchio's won this there, like, and I wouldn't call that dominance because it's not like that's representative of one single elimination tournament. These are two different group stages with a huge variety of players and races available, and the fact that there might possibly be 3 out of 4 of them as Protoss blows me away. But, again, more on that later. Harstem's getting a little bit downright dirty down. His Stargate to the south, not going to be scouted. Optimus's Reaper comes across the map. By the time he gets here, there might be a second pylon down, but there'll be no Nexus, so he'll still know something is up. It's just a matter of finding out what it is. Oh, so yo, War Chef! Thank you, coming in 500 bits. Stabs, yeah, and the bit boss, and has claimed the throne. But this Reaper comes in, and like I said, this is awfully suspicious, guys. Even if that pylon was complete, not having a Nexus is already enough question marks raised. So, how does he deal with this? Maybe a Widowmine comes in and can catch that Oracle. It would time out, but he doesn't start it right away. Oh, let's go for a Cyclone instead. Maybe misreading what's going on here. To bring this back to Harstem versus Corsair for a moment, though, there wasn't actually a lot of cheese builds versus him. There wasn't a lot of these proxies. For now, Optimus has maybe misread this as just simply being the pylon bus at the front, which we know is not going to be the case. In fact, if he gets the SCV here and now, oh, delaying the command center would have been like, oh, devastating, frankly. But anyways, I was going to say he may have misread what's going on here. The Cyclone could maybe help catch the Oracle. He's made the Cyclone here with the intent of killing the pylon, which is not a bad one. But again, what's protecting the mineral lines? And the answer is nothing, really. The Oracle comes in fact, kills the Marines, allowing for more leeway, not going for the SCVs in the mineral lines, which would have been freebies, but instead assists the front lines. Second overcharge pops, and he's going to kill that bunker. No cancel. SCVs are mad trying to repair that the reactor, but in doing so, they start going down. Normally, this at least kills 2 depots, though, so I'm hesitant to call this a success on Harstem's part. In fact, I would say this attack flopped out rather oddly. He did kill 7 workers, which is fantastic, but no supply block means Optimus continues to produce Cyclones and may counterattack. And if he counterattacks, I can't speak anymore, guys. Something happened. I lost it. If he counterattacks, there's no pylons down here to defend. 2 Cyclones can destroy pretty much anything a Protoss player has in the early game. And frankly, production is going to be a little bit weak, to say the least. Oh my goody golly gosh. There's a wall of GGs in chat. And they look glorious. 924 bits from Nervots is a very good day today. Gotta spread the man love. Although when I read the emote and I don't actually use the emote because I love man versus game, that sounds a little bit weird. But yo, Nervoth, my dude, Bit Boss Supreme. Also very generous with those bits. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, this didn't present itself into the immediate counterattack, so Optimus loses the chance to take advantage of the situation. Instead, he's busy playing hardcore defense against the Oracles, which is not the wrong move, but again, because he doesn't get to move out on the map, he doesn't get to put any sort of damage towards Harstem. So Harstem just gets to make this Nexus with relative ease. He gets the pylon up. He's kind of good to go. Boss Glory or something. No, just do exclamation mark Boss Glory, then do exclamation mark Boss Tax, okay? Those are 2 great moves you can pull off. Although they do share a cooldown with others, so I don't know if they'll be available or not. Oracles do get caught by the lock-on. Looks like this one barely dodges out thanks to vision. He also sees this medevac moving out, so Revelation doesn't reveal the Widow Mines inside of it, but it does reveal the medevac, so at least Harstem knows where this is coming from. Oracles also barely live and start falling back. But going back to what I was saying before, however, Harstem, when you played Kelazur, again, really solid late game stuff, great Warp Prism control, good attacks, nothing that was like super downright dirty and dangerous. And I remember we interviewed him on stream afterwards, and he kind of said like, oh yeah, I didn't even expect to win. I was already preparing for the rematch of Namshar type thing. So for me, if he can accidentally beat a player as good as Kelazur, I got a lot of faith in Harstem to do magical things. And one of the things he's done so far that's been kind of cool, kind of gross, is he's bulked up a lot of oracles, but he's hidden them. He's continued to show the first two because this is what you would do. In a normal situation, you would keep coming back for revelations, you risk losing one, sure, but this has kept Optimus thinking like, nah, there's not going to be any of these coming next. Like, he's busy thinking about tanks and trying to deal with the depths. In fact, the amount of Marines he currently has, because they don't have combat shields and they don't have stim, can't actually deal with the oracles. Optimus, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. He's going for this like tank push. Maybe, you know, you sit out here, you put your Marines down to cover the tank, put some Cyclones with it, maybe have a great time. But I really don't think these Marines without, it's weird to see them. No combat shields, there's no tech lab. Like, this is intentional. He's delayed this on purpose. Harstem's oracles are going to find like nothing to stop this. There was one Widowmine made, right? A couple in the drop. There we go. Both of them are in the drop. Oh my god. Oh guys. this is going to look like a PvZ at this rate. I don't know, man. Revelation goes down once again, but he's taking some damage from the lock-on. Oh, he's going to lose the oracle to it. Forces a scan out too. Maybe not worth it? Actually, Harstem's lost a lot of potential momentum here. But he knows about that medevac that was going around. He didn't get revelation on it, but he has an idea of what's coming. So he's got to be careful for his mineral lines. These Widow Mines, guys, they can shake things up pretty badly. All right, get control. Micro on top of the one, just lose one probe. Better than losing a mineral line worth, which might happen here. Okay, that gets about 5. I guess he had thought there was only the Widow Mines over here. Bit of a mistake. Medevac still hovering around, might be able to pick that up and get it out. One of the two at least. No, not with the stalkers there. It's a bit risky. Goes for it. Does save the Widow Mine though. Not bad. This means they come back for round 2 a little bit later. Harstem's resonating glaives and +1, by the way, is going to possibly be game breaking. I say this with hesitance though, because these Marines might have combat shields. But Stim started so much later than normal, which means as a consequence, combat shields get pushed off later than normal. And if Harstem has a fight where he's got +1 in the resonating glaives, he's going to shred through the Marines very quickly. This thing actually gets another hit. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. That's stupid, but that's amazing. Oh, we got a lot of stasis traps that have been put around the map, kind of like creep tumors. I really thought Harstem was gearing up for aggression in this game, guys. It just, the extra oracles, I guess, purely for stasis traps, which I don't have a problem with, because this either gives you the advantage that Zerg have versus Terran, right? Where the Terran have to spend so much time cleaning up creep tumors through scans that they take forever to get across the map. And on the other hand, it possibly just catches huge chunks of the army. Either way, there's no way for Harstem to know that the tech for Optimus was so heavily delayed, but he really could have taken some good fights for it. If that Stargate never gets cleaned up, you might see some warp-ins, but I think these two medevacs will probably stop. Take out the pylon at least before going through. I mean, yeah, this gives away what's going on, but Harstem would have already seen this, and he doesn't stop to deal with the Stargate. Optimus, what are you doing? Okay, I guess not. Well, again, there's just so many freaking oracles around the map. There's so many stasis traps. Instead of actually dropping in the base, yeah, there's just gonna be so many to kite through. The odd Marines have been sent forward, though. More stasis traps coming down. He scans forward. Doesn't see this one. Goes for another one. Harstem traps literally every unit in this drop. Optimus kind of has to abandon ship now. This is sick. This is disgusting. But this is so cool. Yo, Optimus, I'm sure right now is feeling. I wish he like. He's like, I really wish I'd have stopped, killed that Stargate, man, because it wouldn't have cost him any of these units to do so. Blinks over, loses one stalker, but again, this is 2 drops worth of Marines and corpses flying everywhere. It costs him almost nothing to make this happen. Although these 2 Marines get to the main, the Mothership Core's got to pop an overcharge, not because of the mineral line, but that's where the Templar are chilling. Storm's only just started, and another stasis trap goes off. Another stasis trap goes off. Are we casting Harstem or DJ Khaled? Because, man, there always seems to be another one. I didn't realize he caught that tank, too, in the backside. This is the sickest way to stall out a Terran. Just be so, like, cancerous with it. He's kiting him in. I don't even know if Harstem's trolling at this point. It's kind of like a, hey, don't chase me, silly boys. Because I definitely don't have, like, 10 more stasis traps waiting for you. The fight here might not go so hot. Again, Storm is very close to finishing, and Harstem's got about 4 Storms locked and loaded. All silliness about these, stasis traps aside, Optimus actually has a very dangerous army. He's on 2-2. He's got a magnificent army supply, and on top of this is like a lot of tanks. So it's going to take some really good Storms to cut that army down to size before Harstem can even consider fighting it. But he's going to back away. The Adept run by on the other side of the map did not catch much, and Optimus, man, he's actually looking very powerful right now. Well, the Templar want to do something. Unfortunately, all they do is get focused down by the tanks. And while this army might get wrecked, keep in mind, Optimus has a really big army back at home, too. Harstem's trading out in a very unfavorable way. Look at the tanks. They're still killing the Stalkers. 103 army supply to 29, and Optimus hasn't even brought out the backup guns yet. In fact, the main generators are still technically online. All these medevacs living through this makes this even worse too. And Harstem, again, I don't know. Maybe he played a little bit too silly this game, or maybe this was some legit strategy that was gonna favor him. Because all of the stasis traps look so just juicy and like right for the picking. You would ideally land a Storm on them as the units were coming out of them, type thing. But look at this endless supply of units coming out of Optimus. Is he cheating? Like, what's going on here? GG. Optimus takes game 1 in the series. Those traps were pretty cool, though. I'll give it to Harstem. He lost, but with style. Game 2 is going to be on Mech Depot, so let me get that hosted up here quick as we can. Keep this show on the road. As again, we have one last best of 5 still coming after this one concludes, but all things considered, that was a pretty exciting game. As silly as it ended up being. Optimus just kind of like raffle stomped his way through that. Make a referee. There we go. But yeah, so this is not the end of the Ting chain of things. I want to remind you guys, tomorrow morning, again, it will unfortunately be a solo cast. I've asked Maynard, I've asked Zeph, everyone's unavailable. But tomorrow morning, I'll be back bright and early with another Ting group. And the Ting group is Alive Hero Stats and Innovation. Does that tickle your fancy? Because that tickles mine. All right, this ain't go, go, go. Let's get into Mech Depot. Oh, hot spicy beams. When did this happen? Carefree Rogue snuck $25 into the Gather bot. I'll have to go pull that up to look at the message, but dude, I just want to give you a big hell of a thank you. And guys, give us some hearts and chat. $50 is $50. Thank you very much, Brian. But folks, we're hopping into game number 2 in this best of 5. Swap the scores around here because this guy is not winning. In the top right, we've got the blue Protoss, Harstem. With his opponent to the bottom left, none other than the orange Terran Optimus, who's actually up 1 game in the series, which is not what I would have expected. But again, Harstem did some weird kind of funky moves. We call them silly moves, whatever you want. I really did not think that would go the way it did. But again, the stasis traps are pretty cool. I don't even care that they lost. They were pretty cool. Alright, what's this message say? Let's load this up here while the probe comes in. Okay, yeah. Carefree Rogue throws $50 into the pot and he gives everybody in chat 100 viewer points. Hey, what a nice guy. It says, return to the Bit Boss King. Give aces to everyone to thank Rifkin for his great casting. Aw, you can give me an ego with words like that. Thank you very much, dude. Sorry, I don't actually leave that thing open for alerts because people don't take advantage of the gather bot option for things very often. So sometimes it's hard for me to notice. I don't know when you did that, dude, but just again, thank you so very much. If this was a battle of the lips, Harstem would be winning. Probably. I don't know why that's a comment. I don't even know why I read that. The delirium of solo casting slowly setting in. Anyways, Optimus is going to go for a scout here. This isn't with the Reaper, this is with an SCV. He comes at a much earlier timing, so what the nice thing is, this will scout. This will see what he needs to see. Most importantly, he sees 2 pylons in the main and a Nexus at the natural. This is the biggest, happiest thing he can think of to see. Okay, no proxies. I don't know if he saw the Stargate, though. No, I didn't go deep enough for the Stargate, so he might be doing a bit of question work there. Maybe the Reaper will get in and see it. Kind of tough, though. The Reaper's usually timing out with the Adepts, so the Adept will kill the Reaper. You know how this dance goes. By stutter stepping for a probe, it may have cost him the scout. In fact, it did. Oh, Optimus gets a kill, but I think confirming a Stargate would have been much more worth it. Granted, I think every Terran player out there who considers themselves a pro, they play with this chip on their shoulder, this wild paranoia that there is going to be a Stargate. You always want to be prepared for the Oracle, so whether it's a Widow Mine in the mineral line while he waits for this to load into a medevac and go drop across the map, or maybe it's just whatever, he should be okay from this. As the Adept transfers in, this might be a bit of a distraction. Widow Mine on the wrong side. Might be thinking this is a heavier Adept attack. Maybe expecting a probe to come in and plant a pylon down. He already drives this back. Alright, Viking coming out next. I think he's got a pretty good idea what's going on. Optimus sneaking the Widow Mine out to go to a very random, quote-unquote, location. A lot of the time what you're doing is trying to catch units with this. Just like, really, you're hoping that the Oracle takes a weird path around the middle of the map. The best Korean Terrans do this, guys. But Harstem's not heading that direction at all. In fact, the Oracle's going to be approaching from the north. It looks like he's going to pair this up with the Adepts to bust through the Marines. And now this Widow Mine being over here is actually a huge problem, because he doesn't have it at home, and he needs it at home. Now the Widow Mine pops out. We'll see if this gets focused or not. He's not going to have detection for it. And looks like this Oracle's not going to shred through the Marines the way he wanted it to. This attack at a Harstem may have already been stopped dead in its tracks. Oracle floating back northwards. Phoenix coming here too. I guess if he gets Revelation up, he can scoop it out of the ground. Transitioning to the Phoenix behind this, we don't see this as often anymore, but this used to be like the go-to thing to do, and I still like it. I think like good Phoenix control really does outperform most things in TvP, especially whether it's picking up tanks, grabbing the Widow Mines, being really annoying. Again, good Phoenix control I think wins out in almost every situation. Still, easier said than done. Backing up for Harstem, we see some extra gateways coming down. Is he gone for a robo or anything, or is this... Oh, there we go. Twilight Council on the Forge just now coming down. I guess he does have a third base going for him at the very least, so he can start getting this saturated up. But any tech swap he's going to make now is going to be a little bit delayed. Kind of like when we saw the late stim last game. I was really worried that the late stim and the late combat shields would cost Optimus, but ultimately it didn't, and he won the game off the back end of it. So this I'm not so worried about. I am curious what he's going to go for off of this, though. I mean, I don't imagine you rush out Storms. Maybe he wants to be a little bit cheeky with DTs. Frankly, I'm going to just imagine it's an upgrade that gets chrono boosted. Sec, we'll take a quick swig of water here, boys. Man, you know what? If there's ever a ventriloquist out there that gets into casting, he's going to have the best time. You just drink water all cast. We keep casting. No breaks necessary. I've always wondered how that stuff works too. I've watched countless YouTube videos and they're like, oh, you speak from the stomach. And I'm like, that looks like bullshit to me, man. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to speak from your stomach. People are commenting on the sickest Artosis pylon. Yo, do we have any Artosis subs in chat? Can we get some Arto pylons in chat? That has got to be the sickest piece of art on twitch.tv. Without a doubt. Looks like this Widow Mine got a kill too. Or not kill, I just hit the Phoenix, excuse me, and splashed everybody else. Yeah, it's a little annoying. Whether this Artosis pylon or not comes into play. I don't think it will. Optimus, he's not going to be getting too many drops off against a player who opened with Stargate. In fact, he's probably not even thinking about it. A lot of the time you see those first couple of Phoenix and you're already just like, all right, I'm going to play that parade push style. And this is exactly what he did last game too, and it worked out very well for him. Gotta get one of those other big stretches in. You know, I got a standing desk. I should really put it in standing mode sometime. Part of me while I think out loud. Anyway, Stim and 1-1 will be finishing up for Optimus in a moment. I don't know if this will be the cue for push or not. Again, he might try and go for some drops, but I think it's very dangerous to try and pull off. He'll scan the third and see mostly Adepts, not Zealots. Maybe a bit of solace there, but Charge is being researched as we speak. Harstem may also be the one getting drop heavy too, is that Warp Prism may head towards the main. There's typically a lot of dead space down here, so I really like that the Viking is on patrol. But a Viking will lose out to those Phoenix and Oracles, and in fact, oof, this comes back to Revelation Tag the army. He's going to find no army, and that's going to be a little bit alarming for Harstem. I'm not sure if he'll be aware where the drops approach from, but what's nice is with the southern half of the map covered, he'll know probably it's from the north. Also, these Phoenix do try and take out the Viking. It lands only to be lifted up. Oh my god, am I watching AI tournaments again? Oh my god. I just had some horrific flashbacks. If you guys have never seen how the insane cheater AI handles its Vikings, you never want to. There's 700 some odd people who know what I'm talking about. Everyone else is just like, what is Rifkin on about? But God, no, not again! Yo, these might not be Artosis pylons on the left side, but they're definitely weak points. And if Optimus just gets in here, stims on top of the units and takes out the pylons, where's that mothership core at? Now gets in here for the overcharge, backs away from the overcharge, just focused on the other pylon. Now gets the mothership core. Nice control so far. No Zealot charge, so the Zealots just kind of slowly walk into their death. Again, I feel like I'm casting AIs all over again. But the Immortal's about to pop off, and I think defending this should be totally feasible, even without the mothership core from our overcharges. In fact, he tries to pounce on top of the Immortal. I like this a lot. I like what Optimus is doing, because Harstem's not doing anything behind us as a consequence. Oh, I like the pickup drop micro too. You dirty boy. This Warp Prism was forced to just kind of sit here and chill out. He didn't know how many Warp Prisms he was going to... Excuse me, not Warp Prisms. How many Warp Ins he was going to have to use at home. Maybe that was something that got a lot worse. So now that he has a moment to breathe, he may consider heading into that main soon, and he has a Dark Shrine finishing up. Optimus does have plenty of scans locked and loaded, potentially available here, but no missile turrets. Revelation catches the army, and this big orange clump of units looks pretty good, just like last game. But here we go, guys. It's not DTs. Harstem says, I don't need cheese to beat you. He comes in with a bunch of Zealots as well as Adepts. Even if he doesn't kill all the SCVs, killing add-ons is going to be devastating for Optimus. His greatest power has been in that army supply. In that last game, it looks similar to this game, too. I'm not sure what happened here for damage. I guess the storm may have gone off. While this goes on, though, everyone's looking at the main. DTs get scanned. This kills a lot of SCVs. 26 workers dead is pretty bad. It's recoverable if he's got mules, but only for a short period of time. So Optimus will be able to extend his life for a little bit. But no, not if the tanks get caught completely out on their own. Zealots charge on top of this. Storm hits those Marines. Optimus was not ready for this fight, and Harstem pounces on top of this fact. He's unloading Marines, unloading them back in. He's got a couple storms left to go. All these Marines are so close to dead. One stim is going to bring them down to less than 5 health. Harstem's the one who has to back away, though. Waiting for more charge lots to warp in and those storms to lock and load. He did enough damage on the other side of the map, and that Warp Prism even lived. We may even see a couple more units get warped in, but it's dangerous, because now he has to really pick and choose where he puts his warp ins. He's going to need every little bit of help at home. Tempests are still not out just yet. In fact, they're just on the way. 3-3 for upgrades, excuse me, 3-2 for upgrades will be pretty nice for Harstem, but as we see here, not exactly a lot of anti-air. These Liberator pushes are going to be punishing. But DTs and Zealots get back towards the main. The fresh drop mules are picked off. The DTs and the Zealots slay the SCVs. And Optimus isn't stopping this time to deal with it. He's just going to keep pushing his issue. And I think for him, if he can get enough momentum, he thinks maybe he can win the game through a base trade. You know, always lift versus Terran, right? Or never base trade versus Terran, they can always lift. There's some rule out there. I don't know what it is. Can't fool me. Shame on you. Can't fool me again. I think that's how the saying goes. Collapses on top of the Stalkers. He's waiting for them to blink in. Nice moves. Good bait. Jebaited. As he stutters back, he's very afraid of these storms. You see him pre-splitting. There's a couple of tanks he's falling back to. My concern, though, is at this point, without feedbacks on the medevacs, they're all out of energy. So healing this army up over and over is going to be incredibly difficult. 21 more SCVs died, by the way, bringing the grand total up to 49 workers killed for Harstem. And now he's starting to break that front line. Optimus doesn't have the money to really reproduce a huge army like this again. Optimus is in a lot of trouble. These medevacs, at the very least, are going to try and get out of here alive. The Stalkers may blink and chase. You gotta be careful. There's some tanks now reinforcing, but momentum shift certainly on Harstem's side now. Rifkin said base trade, drink. Oh, don't let me know the drinking rules, guys, because I'm just gonna say base trade over and over again if that's the case. I guess there's the GG. I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if Optimus was gonna try and fight this out. Harstem ties it up 1-1, guys. Very nicely done. We're going to pop off to a quick commercial break just to get it out of the way while I take a moment to breathe, and we hop into game number 3. So sit tight. We'll be back soon. Oh, we've got a cheeky little check mark in chat. Shout out. Good to see you, Killaris. Dude, I know that you just said you should come cast with me sometime. Maybe. Cool. That could be fun. Whatever. What I hate is that we can't play World of Warcraft together, man. Why you gotta be on a different server, dude? Where's your NA Smurf alt account, right? Like, jeez Louise. All right, guys, we got a really sexy sound happen during the break. Let me just replay this on stream real quick. Jibby 25. This guy threw 150 bucks into the Ting prize pool. On top of this, he's giving me $5 too. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. It says great solo cast, Rifkin. Now it's 7:45 a.m. and I should probably get at least an hour of sleep. Dude, that sounds like the words of a quitter. Never, to quote my favorite movie, Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender. Okay, no, but seriously, go to bed. Seriously, get the fuck out of it. If I see you in chat, I'm banning you. Go to sleep. Thank you for everything so far today, man. I hope you have a great night. But we are in game number 3. Things have been tied up now 1-1. In the bottom right, we've got the blue Protoss, Harstem, with his opponent. Already playing cheeky bugger here in the natural. It's the orange Optimus. Got his own intro music. That timed out nicely with Jimmy. Old Jimmy. Not young Jimmy. Old Jimmy. Thank you for the 14 months to say I fucking love Monkey Island. Yo, look over there. Is that a 3-headed monkey? Classic. But anyways, Harstem and Optimus, I was really worried this would be like a super one-sided series. Again, like coming into this, my predictions, if I'm going to throw them down there 3-1 again, don't know which direction. I'm leaning towards Harstem over Optimus most of the time. Curiosity strikes, though, who does Snoot want to fight more? Harstem's a really tough guy to get around, and it probably has really good PvC. Something Snoot might not love to fight against. Alternatively, he did lose to Optimus already, so might not want to fight Optimus again. Mech might just be too tilting. So there's a lot on the line here, not in terms of who gets out of this match alive in first place, but a lot along of who goes on to fight Snoot in that grand finals match to see if Snoot even gets out of the group. I don't know who you guys are cheering for, but very, very intrigued to see how this series will play out. Ban me, you won't do it. I don't need to. I got mods who'll do it for me. Get Rex subs. Look at all these subs getting timed out. Get out of here! Alright, Reaper comes in for a bit of a poke, but while this goes on, unfortunately, there's some cheeky work going on this side too. Pylons finish up and the overcharge is about to pop off, and these Marines, not good, guys. Fall back before it's too late. Nice on that lock-on. That actually takes a lot of the shields off that mothership core, but more importantly, this pushes her away from high ground vision. Something Harstem may not have been thinking about, and now he's going to lose the pylon for it. He's going to lose the momentum in the attack. He didn't get both the depots. He didn't get the reactor. This attack is usually meant to do a lot more. I see we're so busy banning subs, we don't have time to ban the double chin guy. Let me just get on that. I don't normally ban people in chat, but once in a while, I gotta pull out the guns. You guys actually couldn't see that, and it probably sounded really weird on stream, but I was blowing my finger guns. Okay, whatever. Gateway's coming up for Harstem. He still hasn't really dedicated too much beyond this robo. This may still just be warp-ins, or maybe he'll actually get something like Immortals, Colossus, you name it. I do know that we've been seeing some late-game Disruptor play kind of come back into this matchup, but not enough to say, like, we'll see that out fast. I will say, though, man, I really miss the days where Neeb and Puck were just, like, annihilating people with the early Disruptor drops and Warp Prism speeds. Those are some of my favorite builds to watch, because even when they failed, like, really spectacularly. And I just love watching disgusting, gross things happen in StarCraft 2. Still Ace 4 can chat. Jibby, get out of here! Slash timeout. Jibby 25. Bedtime. Get out of here, kid. Go to bed. You gotta sleep up and rest up so you can wake up tomorrow to continue saving esports, man. No, thank you seriously for everything today. We got these double Widow Mines heading on in. There's gonna be the overcharges at this base, so I don't know if you want to unload. Oh, Danger Town. He will still, no, he doesn't get the burrow off. He will get this one in the main, but there's an observer here, so this kills a probe. Should be dealt with quickly afterwards. Optimus will pull that out, though. Overcharge is waiting for him. Can't fall back this way. Ugh. It was really tempted to pop another one, but Harstem chooses to keep it holstered. Meanwhile, there's an observer keeping an eye on both the exit points. If there was a push coming, he would have seen this, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. I put on back. Oh my word, does Kilaris finally have his own emotes? Like he's putting time into his own Twitch channel or something. How crazy is that? What is this, 1%? For that Heroes of the Snorm? Unnecessarily shots fired. Take it. There's some force fields that can keep this from pushing through. I'm not sure if he'll be saving this for force fields or guarding shields. Okay, force fields to try and catch a couple of units. But nice pickups out of Optimus. And actually, this position of the tank should be able to reach the pylon. Not quite the Nexus. But whether it's a position over here on the left of the rocks or to the north of the rocks, you can create a really awesome choke point to force fights around. But Optimus is actually abandoning this position because... Did he see the Warp Prism? No, he's going to have to come back and deal with it already. You'll see it over here. Okay, Harstem's going to pick up quickly and get out of there. Depths do go through to the main, though. Widow Mine pops this off, and looks like, yeah, this Marauder will be the hero that saves the day. Nice double kill. Doesn't quite get the Warp Prism, but he's dealt with the attack. This was actually really good for Harstem, though. This didn't kill a lot, but this brought Optimus's army back home, and I don't think he was super afraid of taking a fight if he had to, especially with Immortals coming out. But now that the Immortals are already out, now dealing with a tank is a lot more easy, a lot more feasible, and of course he'll blow Marauders away. No. This Warp Prism is actually in some really weird danger. Although there is no Viking on the way, so this means he's just kind of stuck for the time being, but a lock-on reaches a bit further than Marines. And hold position will get that Warp Prism killed. Harstem, of course, doesn't really have a lot. Normally Harstem actually ends up coming equipped with 2 Warp Prisms. He's only got the 1, which is a little concerning. So he's trying to float away and just escape, but if he loses this Warp Prism, he loses reinforcements. But yo, Optimus got caught! He got because he was so busy chasing the Warp Prism, he didn't realize Harstem had brought the army to kill the reinforcements. Harstem takes such a one-sided fight, clearing out the Cyclones and the Marines. Now we got 2 Adepts in this mineral line, these 5 in the main, and while the Warp Prism might have been removed from the equation, Harstem still has a really big pushing force right outside Optimus's front door. The worst part about this for Optimus is that Harstem has had vision on everything he's been doing. There's just been observers chilling above the bases this entire game. Tank doesn't even get the setup. The Widow Mines will be focused down. Granted, it's Sentries and Immortals, but it's more than enough to win the game. GG's get called, and Harstem takes game number 3, giving him a very nice and very decisive 2-1 lead. But now we move on to the next map. Map number 4, which is the map Ascension Ire. Okay. You gotta do like math and figure this out. You gotta count like 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. Oh, I did math on stream. Mistakes are made. Yo, I want to show off these cards again though when I get a sec. After this series is concluded. or while it takes a minute to join the lobby. Again, I got these really sick cards made for when we're at BlizzCon and we're at TwitchCon, guys. So here's a quick look at the front. I know 47ness is in chat, so I'm really happy I can show this off to him in person and not just the Twitter video I posted. These came out looking fan-friggin-tastic. If you guys want one of these, they're gonna be totally free. Just ask me in Zombie Grove for them. There are custom versions of these too, because we have both a Rifkin and a Zombie Grove version of these cards. If you want us to sign them, not a problem. If you want to just have the card because it's cool, by all means, please take them. We got like 100 of these things made up. So if you're at BlizzCon or if you're at TwitchCon, come find us. TwitchCon's coming up first. We'll be actually working at the TING booth while we're at TwitchCon. I'm actually really excited about this because A, they got couches, and B, they got chargers for your phone. So I'm literally just gonna be chilling, playing Digimon Links on my phone all day. Which, by the way, add me on Digimon Links if you guys haven't yet. I need more friends. But okay, Harstem's finally joined the lobby. Just waiting on Optimus to give us the go-ahead. Optimus Prime, come on. Well, we'll find out in a moment. Score is currently 2-1 if you're just joining in the favor of Harstem. There we go. See you guys here in game. That's right. You gotta unmute things, Rifkin. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole match can be described with a phrase, if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much. Because we got two fantastic players squaring off. This could very well be the finals of the DSCL for all we care. We don't know, but we do know that one of these players might just be about to get out of the group in first place. He's leading 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the blue Protoss, Harstem. His opponent in the bottom right, gonna be the orange Terran Optimus. And even in the games where Optimus loses, he still looks not bad in the process of it. Also, Plex tanked, or Plex _ tanked, just hit us up with a prime sub. Yo, our sub count is off the chain for 2 days back to back. So far, what did we have yesterday? Actually, I'll look up yesterday in a sec. What do we have today? We're at 42 new subs today. Yesterday we had 39, so we've actually beaten the sub count that we had yesterday. That is nuts. We're also now at a grand total of 1,078, so we're actually coming up close to 1,100. A very nice, beautiful round number. I don't think we're going to push it today, so I'm not going to push the issue. I'm very happy with the amount of subscribers we've gotten. But all of you guys have mostly been Prime subs, and that makes me even happier, because again, that ad block absolution, that feeling of knowing that you're not screwing the streamer over just by rocking that Twitch Prime and being here in person. The way it used to work, too, was Prime didn't used to always do this. Now what they do is they just take a tally of how many people have Prime in your chat every time you run an ad and just add that number in. Beforehand, it sucked because when you had Prime in its initial version and you used ad block, it actually screwed the streamer over. But again, ad block absolution through Twitch Prime, guys. You don't have to feel bad about it at all. In fact, it's probably a good thing too, because I mean, have you seen some of the websites on the internet? Every time I go to a news site nowadays, it's like, oh, we detect you're using ad block. I'm like, okay, I'll disable ad block, see what the article is. Oh, I can't read the article because there's fucking 50 ads playing and one of them's got audio and I can't figure out which one it is to close it, so I just alt F4 out of the page and I get all my news from Philip DeFranco on YouTube now. The world we live in, boys. But Harstem's got for a robo opening this game, not a Stargate. This could just be for the really fast warp prism again. I love that he does weird tactics, but I'm really more curious on these two probes he sent out. These are skirting the outside of the map, and I mean, he might be looking for Optimus's proxy, because Optimus is willing to do the, like, 4-racks builds and what have you. But what Harstem scouted doesn't look suspicious. Maybe he thought it was going to be a factory, or maybe he's just trying to sneak his own probes in there. Either way, Optimus has kept everything at home, including his natural command center, which I guess will be floating up and moving over in a moment. If Harstem wanted to be a real dick, he could put Pylon down here in a sec. Not gonna do that though. Okay, so command center is gonna land. Now he's a little bit less paranoid. I guess maybe not seeing the natural on the low ground threw him for a bit of a loop, and that's totally acceptable. This ends up being just an observer or two to start. Great for detection, not a problem. You get these out in the early game, it means you don't have to cut into your production later. But Optimus has gone for a pretty quick Liberator this time around. So he has changed things up quite a bit with his build. And I don't think like a Liberator is going to be an automatic win. You've got things like Stalkers, there's going to be pylons for overcharges. But it is something that can be really annoying and force people out of position. And in fact, Harstem actually doesn't have a pylon in the back of his main mineral line right now. So if he sets up back here, man, subs on subs over here. If he sets up back here, there's no pylon to overcharge and easy mode the defense. But who we got coming in here? We got OJ Tech. Does this guy like orange juice? I hope so. I love orange juice. OJ Tech, thank you for that tier 1 sub. And the Diesel Max Power. This dude is regularly fighting for the right to be bit boss. I love it. Diesel Max Power, your 100 bits here and there are appreciated, but that sub is super extra awesome. Thank you very much, dude. I hope you guys are, of course, taking advantage of the half-off sub deal. I guess I'll talk about that in a moment, as if you haven't heard every other streamer on Twitch talk about it already, but we're going to count the pro kills. 1, 2, tres, cuatros, something, cinco, seis. He's up to 7. It's pretty good so far. Now the Mothership Core gets back here and deals with it, but you know, if he had reacted a little bit faster, he probably could have kept it alive for longer too. But, all right, Marines don't really have a lot of power here. Harstem actually already sees this coming thanks to the Observer. So he can just pull back a little bit tighter to the overcharged pylon. That being said, though, he may have to split his overcharges in the main because this medevac's got a couple of widow mines and the Observer is not quite here. But Optimus isn't willing to commit. He just kind of lets it slip out. Okay, phrasing, and pulls out, and gets phrasing, and gets out of the base alive. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. He gets out of the base alive and does not overcommit. Comes back for round 2, but again, like, he's watching this, and he should know. He saw the widow mine slip out. He should know what's in this, so the Observer might pull back. No, Stalkers will just keep the medevac out, and that works too. Alright, so for Harstem, maybe a little bit of misread on the early game, but good defense here, deflecting both angles of attack. Not only the Liberator, but the medevac, as well as the Marine Force attack. But it's worth noting, he never threw Chrono onto the Resonating Glaives, and he didn't Chrono out that +1, so it feels like what Harstem's doing, despite having this Warp Prism, isn't geared around attacking. I mean, this attack here, for example, is not going to time out with +1 or Resonating Glaives, but perhaps feeling confident knowing that he killed so many Marines that there'd be very little at home. Adepts are easily gunning down the few Marines that are here. Not sure how much he wants to commit, though, seeing the rest of that army, so he picks up. Meanwhile, pushing simultaneously down to the south, he's got an army of Stalkers and a couple sentries. Ooh. If you could, I always love the idea of like a Protoss, you bait the army down below, and you force to the top of the ramp. You end up being just like the grossest thing possible. Oh, these widow mines are gonna shut down the Warp Prism. Super denied. Nicely done, but the Adepts still get in here, so they're gonna get a couple of SCV kills. Granted, the Warp Prism is only minerals. It's not like you lose gas for it, so it's kind of an acceptable loss, but not something you want to lose because it cuts into your production. You'd much rather be making Immortals, etc. But he's not actually making anything right now, which is a little worrisome. Also, got another sub coming in from Reach. Whoa! Hold the phone, guys. Can we get some Ace M's in chat? Can we make it rain? Because Reach Pat just hit us up with a sub, a brand new sub, a brand new tier 3 sub. Thank you very much for that, man. Attack comes down here to the south. Pylon does get picked off. Yo, Reach Pat, let me know in chat. Who are you cheering for in this game, man? Thank you again for that tier 3. I've got nothing to offer for tier 3. Let's be clear and transparent. I love you guys supporting the channel, and if you want to go the extra mile by upgrading your tiers, I'm not going to say no. But to be clear, I want to spoil our tier 3 subs. I want to give benefits to our tier 2 subs, but Twitch doesn't have the tools to do it. So just please don't have expectations. 4 Widow Mines laying down in the main. This is actually going to make it very difficult for Harstem to reinforce, but he does see this with the Observer. So, oh wow, gets the Mothership going. Okay, and that's gonna be a bit of a pick off. Coming down to the south, same time, Stalkers and Sentries are ready to go. Pops the overcharge. Again, beautiful map control out of Harstem as he's just seen all these attacks coming. Combination Warp Prism hovering over the army, as well as Observers chilling elsewhere. Actually, Observer chilling over the army, moving out. You know, it's like a lost art style. there used to just be this habit, this habitual removing of observers. Terrans would always scan their mains and their naturals before moving out. But Harstem has gotten away with so much vision in this game, and this is what's really allotted him the opportunities to afford wasting 2 adepts on the risk of killing SCVs, because he knew there was nothing defending. He saw everything out of position. He's got that warp prism over here too. 18 workers killed in total, and Optimus is down just a little bit. But both players are on 3 bases, and one has mules, so you know, that's cool. Insert balance wine somewhere around here, or maybe here. Definitely here. By the way, I didn't actually look into chat after he asked Reach Pat what he was cheering for. Did he actually read anything? Nah, he just threw down some dollar bills. What a baller. Alright, we got Liberator range coming up next. This is going to be great. If Optimus can get to any number of Liberators, it tends to shut Protoss down. But, yo, Harstem's gone for Disruptors, which is kind of cool. Disruptors rally... What the fuck is this rally point? Okay, well, let's hope the Disruptor doesn't actually rally out there. But anyways, Disruptors can reach underneath Liberators, so they're not usually that bad to go for. Colossus and Disruptors create this very interesting, not counter, but counterplay to the Liberators. So they don't counter the Liberators by killing them or anything like that, but they do let you play around them. In this case, with the Disruptors bowl underneath them. And of course, there's always that chance you just get that one magic hit that makes everybody cry and go home. Dude, why are our subs picking so many fights with our mods today? Ban me! Do it! DT and a lot of adepts get over here. Liberators can kill the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism not perhaps the most dangerous part of this. Again, we got a Disruptor, and if Optimus is not looking for just that wrong moment, he could lose a whole army. But 31 SCVs die between various DTs and adepts transferring around. This has already gotten really out of hand. Harstem doesn't even need to go attack the army because he knows he's killed the economy. Oh, he's even killing these Widow Mines. Why are you guys not burrowed? You literally have one thing to do, and it's burrow! Ah! What's up with that? I wonder if I ban all the mods, will that solve the problem of all the viewers fighting with them? Not a good idea. Disruptor doesn't get a good hit whatsoever, but yo, these Liberators floating a little bit too close. Fly a little bit too close to the sun. They go for the Stalkers, but the Stalkers take most of them out before they even siege up. And the Disruptor hits, not magnificent, not glorious, but they got some okay kills. I'm not sure if he wants to sit here and fight this, though. He's going to have to focus on the Liberators at some point. Maybe shoot one and blink away. Bleeding out a lot to the chase because Marauders are pretty good. They do have concussive shells, too, so anything they catch is going to be slow and caught within the Liberation Zone. So these Stalkers have got to be careful. Harstem came in here with a very powerful attack, but keep in mind, if Harstem loses the army fight, he could still lose the game. But, oh, that Disruptor gets focused. Blink it away. Widow Mines are scary, too, and these Adepts have no shields. It's a slow bleed up, but Harstem keeps falling back further and further. At some point, he can't fall back anymore. Oh, I like that pickup maneuver. Dodges the Disruptor shot. Pretty cool. Yo, a lot of the bios been killed, though. We're almost at the point where Harstem could maybe blink underneath the Disruptors and kill them, but he still keeps falling back. He keeps drawing himself backwards. But he's on 78 probes, 79, but he's got 20 probes, guys. He's on 4 bases, oversaturated like crazy with things mining out of the mains and what have you. So, like, Harstem's okay to lose some things here, and at some point, money is going to win, but he's having a hell of a time dealing with these Liberators. Walking around the side, they're not sieged up. I mean, again, even with these Marauders being here, he still might be able to just focus them down. Harstem at the same time, too, I didn't consider this, might not have assessed the amount of damage he did with his harass with the Adepts and the Dark Templar. I mean, seriously, Optimus was down to almost no workers to the point where he stopped making them. But now realizing he's got a small momentum shift, he started making workers again. So Harstem's trying to maneuver around the outside of this. Stalkers coming around this side, blink on. They'll get one of the Liberators. Catch some of the reinforcements too. This would be nice. As good as Liberators are, they can never target the buildings. So I mean, there is a hard stopping point here eventually. The Okay, Adept's going to transfer. He's going to go for it. Blinks off to the left side. He's going to focus on these Liberators. They're all facing the wrong direction, and even with these Widowmine hits being pretty sweet, all the Liberators are going down. And as stated, Optimus might not be able to replace these guys. His income took such a hard hit. In fact, if you haven't noticed through the income graph, this blue mountain is Harstem winning the game. Well, this is terrifying for Snoot, I'm sure, because of course, if Optimus loses this game, he will fall to the finals of the group to rematch against Snoot. But still, if we watch Harstem slowly not win, I'm not gonna say die, but he's slowly not winning. Optimus is getting the chance to actually maybe recover. At some point, maybe the main floats over, maybe some mules drop. These Adepts, though, are going to get to that mineral line. This is what he really needs to do to secure victory. Because there's really not many workers, but if you kill what few workers there are, you're going to have a good time. So the drops come over here. The Adept should transfer at the cost of 1. No, none. Meanwhile, Harstem surrounds and goes for killing moves in the middle of the map. Liberators are not set up, and they're not going to get a chance to. Manor Mules for the GG. Ladies and gentlemen, Harstem walks out of group in first place, officially making 3 out of 4 players in the round of 16 all Protoss. This is Mana, DNS from Group 1, and now Harstem here from Group 2. A big round of applause and congratulations go to Harstem. He earned it. But damn, that's a Protoss-heavy European group. Something we have never, ever seen before. But also, can we get some credit in chat, guys? We're about to go watch Snoot and Optimus rematch each other. But can we talk about how good Optimus is playing today? A lot of you guys I know at the start of the day were even like, who the hell is Optimus? And I was telling you, yo, he's a good player. Keep your eyes on this kid. Did I tell you right or did I tell you right? All right, Snoot wants coin flip. Hang on. Where's my coin? I dropped it on the last time we did this. Do I have to go Google? I think I gotta go to Google. Oh, found it. Fuck. Okay, do it again. Okay, if I drop it a third time, I'm just going to Google. There we go. It is, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, because the camera probably won't focus. It is heads, and Snoot called heads, so Snoot can pick A or B. We're gonna go to commercial break though, guys. We have to also play some words from our sponsors. So again, if you guys don't know what TING is, it's a US mobile phone service. If you're the kind of person that's always hanging around your Wi-Fi, you don't go out so much because you're an introvert like myself, you don't call very often, you don't use many texts, whatever, but you still need a cell phone, consider checking out TING. You'll be paying like $9 a month for your phone bill if that describes you. But what a terrible flip. Fuck you, that was an amazing flip, okay? What am I supposed to do, flip this to the moon? Like, okay, I dropped it again. Luckily, this is the last coin flip of the day I need to do. Anyways, guys, check out TING. Go over to bttv.ting.com. You can also get $25 in credit over there, so even if you're not going to use their phone services, you can still check out something from their store. We have a Match Arena page set up too, so if you want t-shirts, if you want some SIM cards, if you want stuff for cheap, and all that money goes towards the prize pool, not TING's big corporation pockets, then check out the prize pool as well. I don't know if there's any codes available, but TING Open should add $1 to the prize pool too, which, by the way, before we go to break, what are we at for overall pricing? $4,500! What the what? Actually, this is great. $4,500 is the first stretch goal unlocked where Jesse's gonna do a backflip on stream. So, I don't know if we're gonna Skype call him or what we're gonna do, but yo, we're gonna have Jesse do a backflip on stream at some point. Anyways, like I said, a word from our sponsors. Here's TING. We'll see you guys here in a little bit.